we headed? We're headed to the Athabasca Glacier, of course. And glaciers can be defined a couple ways. They're either classified as what's called an outlet glacier, which means they extend off of or they flow off of an ice field. In our case, it's the Columbia ice field here. Or they're defined as what's called an independent glacier, which means they are not attached to an ice field and they essentially stand alone by themselves. And as we turn the corner here, you get the first really good look at the Athabasca Glacier. The Athabasca Glacier is an outlet glacier, and that's because it flows off of the Columbia ice field. Now, if you take your eyes from the base of the glacier, move up the valley towards the horizon, you're going to come to what looks like 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. If you go up to the very top step up there, that's the Columbia ice field up on top. And it extends back 165 square kilometers back to the northwest. And the average ice depth in the ice field is over 300 meters thick, or almost 1,000 feet deep. Now, who can tell me why glaciers and ice fields are so critical to the entire world?
We have 4 more.
It could be some that it's a very, very significant amount just because of the sheer size of the ice field.
Okay guys, like, this
We
is
have a
like
better
the booklet that we were
understanding of what
supposed to
the
do.
freshwater discharges, though, from the Athabasca Glacier. And it's an astonishing... Here you go.
Whee!
All right, well, I'd like to introduce you to one of the steepest commercial grade roads in North America. And for this, we take the bus down in a low gear and use a special braking system. Takes us down nice and slow. And I won't be doing any talking on the microphone until we get down to the very bottom, but this really is one of the best vantage points to see the entire glacier. So really enjoy it. Take lots of pictures.
Yeah, sure. Baby's got some going up there. Yeah, we have 2 more. That's all like the water from all the like the rivers. Like you see those people and then look at that. It looks really small from here, but like see those people? It's big.
All right, well, welcome to the bottom, everybody. Wow, quite a few. You guys should do the tour. That's great. Okay, well, we should all have our hands up going together because we're all in the club at this point. It may not look like it from exactly where we are, but we're actually on the Athabasca Glacier right now. This is a special section of the glacier called the Ice Core Moraine. And what makes it special is it has this wonderful insulating barrier of centuries-old rock and gravel, most of it deposited by the mountain here on our left. This is Mount Athabasca right on our left. And the rock and gravel that's been deposited here over the centuries will actually protect and save the edge sections of the glacier long after the main open part of the glacier has long since gone and melted. And the best example of what we're driving on right now is right here on our right-hand side. If you look very closely there, you can see the dense blue glacier ice just above that Russian meltwater. If we were to cut this road right in half that we're driving on, that's exactly what it would look like. Now, the rock, dust, and gravel has a fancy scientific name. It's called cryoconite. And what happens is when the Cadillac winds increase throughout our summer season, it'll pick the cryogenic dust sediment from the surrounding mountains and deposit it onto the glacier, creating these dark and dusty patches that you see out here in front of you. And the dark patches of cryogenic dust actually significantly impact the glacier's temperature because of the dark coloring. It's very similar in principle to if you're wearing a dark colored t-shirt on a hot summer day. You just tend to feel and retain more of the sun's energy than you would if you were wearing lighter colored clothing. The same thing happens here with the cryogenic dust covering that covers the glacier throughout our season.
You need to cross. No, not with that.
And as operators here in our Ice Explorers, we carry the cryogenic dust sediment on our tires as well. And it's important that we remove the dust sediment from our tires before we go onto the main section of the glacier, so we're not contributing any more than is already naturally occurring. Our tire wash here. So I'm just going to pause here for a minute or two, and I'm wondering if I could get 4 really fit volunteers to come and help me with the tires. Wow, dead silence. You guys know I'm joking, right? Because if I was serious, I would have said 6 volunteers for 6 tires, right? All right, we're going to drive through, and that helps remove the cryogenic sediment from our tires.
Where's that water? Like that snows all. But I haven't even done yet because I have to. We have to go to a certain spot.
All right, well now you folks can get your first really good look at the main section of the glacier now. And I think from this vantage point, it almost looks landscape like it's certainly not flat. It's got lots of character to it, lots of peaks and valleys, such as cracks and crevices eroded and holes as well. The cracks and crevices have a special name. They're called crevasses. And they can reach dimensions of up to hundreds of feet long and wide. University of Alberta science student who in 1973 had an up-close and personal encounter with a crevasse, and it absolutely went on to change the direction of his life. And I'm going to share that story with all of you on our drive back. Okay, we're coming up to our walk-around area, or our exploration area here, where you folks will be able to get off the Ice Explorer and do some exploring for yourself. And you're going to notice this area is bordered by red signs and red roping, and this is our safe zone. We ask you please do not go outside the area with the red signs and red roping. And while you're out walking around exploring, you may also come across some yellow signs, and the yellow signs mark some smaller imperfections in the glacier, such as soft spots or slushy spots, or maybe even some small holes. So if you come across any of these yellow signs while you're out walking around, just be very mindful of your footing in those areas. But one of the most common questions...
Yeah.
Olivia, here. You can do that probably tomorrow.
I think I did. So cold. Like, guys, I gotta be. I can't. Alright, we're gonna put goldfish down this river. Right here. 3, 2, 1, golden fish! Golden fish! No! Golden fish! Oh, hold on, the goldfish! Go, 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 fish! Get Have a good one. Mushy fishy. Okay. Okay.